Hey everyone, welcome to Bae Watch. I'm Mara Jane and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Some Dumb American.
And today we're going to cover everything from hurricanes to evil baby beating pieces of shit.
I shouldn't have been smiling when you said that. And then after that, we're just probably, I guess, going to have a bit of a chat about this awesomely awful book and other various stuff.
It's definitely my favorite book ever. Like, it's my new favorite thing. I absolutely love this book, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it because it's bad.
We needed a bit of a lighter topic this week because there's some cranky making stuff that we're chatting about in the first half of the show. So
yeah. If you would like to support the show, you can use the $sign at the bottom left-hand corner of the chat box and donate and be part of the conversation, or you can purchase t-shirts and mugs from the Bae Watch Teespring store. That link is in the description.
And make sure you subscribe to the Bae Watch channel because this stream will be archived over there. And once we reach 1,000 subscribers on the Bae Watch channel, we will be streaming directly from there. So go subscribe so you don't miss out on a single stream. And I think that is all the housekeeping.
Yep. I think that's it.
Excellent.
So I guess we'll start with, you know what? Let's start with the hurricane. There's a big-ass hurricane.
Another one.
All right. Anyway,
America gets all the hurricanes this year, all of them.
Well, yeah, and then we've got 2 more on the way, like a Russian one and a Mexican one, which I think is funny as hell. Not because hurricanes are funny, but just the fact that.
I haven't heard much about Jose. How's Jose doing? Is he evil as well, or is it just...
I don't even know. I think everybody's freaking out about Irma.
Yep.
How is Hurricane Josie? Hurricane Josie. How you doing? I wasn't really... It's passing outer Caribbean islands right now.
Okay, so
basically, like all the little islands that got murdered by Irma are about to get slapped in the face by Josie.
Well, that's rude,
right? Like, so that's great. That's awesome. I'm sure that'll go well. So, yeah, there are hurricanes. If you're being told to evacuate, please do so. I guess.
Don't be a hero.
You know, I like. And then we're possibly going to get a hurricane. I live really far from the coast. So when people were like, Atlanta might get hit with a hurricane, I was like, bullshit. And now it might not be bullshit. I don't know.
The most you'll probably get is a kind of bad storm-ish.
Yeah, I do know that my campus is closed on Monday, which, yay. I mean, I know that, like, people are probably going to die. But that's not the point. I'm excited. That I don't have school. I get a day off. So
you're awful.
I know, right? But other than that, speaking of Josie, let's talk about DACA.
Yes.
Trump is he said that he might get rid of DACA maybe in 6 months, depending on what Congress decides to do, which is some wishy-washy bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But whatever. So the thing that bothers me about DACA is that it came about from an executive order, not necessarily DACA itself. Because if you're like 35 and your parents brought you here as a kid, I mean, the damage is done. You're already here.
Yeah.
So I'm not that upset because people think that most of the DACA recipients are like 5-year-olds. They're not. They're people who are adults.
Well, from my understanding, you had to be over the age of 16 to apply for DACA.
Yeah. It's my opinion that, you know, you should have to have parents that are at least legally accounted for in order to be born a citizen. I don't think that children born to illegal parents should be automatically citizens just because they were born here.
Well, can we worry about that after I get knocked up again and fly there for birthing? Because that'll probably be the easiest way to get me in the country.
Yeah, but I'll hire you and we'll do something. It'll be fine.
We'll get married.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yes. You already proposed to me. Like, it's not.
Exactly.
It's not like.
Stixie was like, if you're gonna marry SDA, can we move to one of those states where you can have a polyamorous marriage? I'm like, babe. He's like, it's about time I got in on this shit, okay?
We'll go Mormon with Stixie. It'll be fun.
That's gonna be all kinds of freaking awkward.
Yeah, like I don't even know how that would work, and it doesn't even work out legally either. Because they're not all legally married, it's just they're Mormonly married.
Yeah.
So.
But we can be legally married.
Yeah, we'll get legally married, and you know, if you already have a dude, but I guess if I get a dude, or I don't know, like maybe our dudes can get married and we can just have like this weird fucked up something or the other going on. It doesn't make any sense. It'll be fine. We'll work it out. It'll be great. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Fuck. Kill me. So yeah, so DACA is a maybe bye-bye.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have a problem with DACA necessarily as long as it gets voted on in Congress. Because like I said, if you've been here since you were like 10 and you're already 30, like what are we going to do? And you're not causing any problems.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a blanket DACA. I think it should be if they're going to vote it into legislation properly and everything, I do think it should be a case-by-case basis. Like, you have to meet the same eligibility criteria or whatever to apply for it. But then they're like, you're 35 and you're still unemployed. Fuck it, you can go home. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that too. I also think that regardless of whether or not the kid was born in the United States, if both parents are illegal immigrants, you know, people are worried about how are we going to split up families? What are we going to do? Just send everybody back. Yeah. Don't split up families. I don't want to split up families either. Just send everybody.
Yeah,
everybody can go home.
That's one thing that actually you hear about like parents of anchor babies being deported. And they're like, you're going to break up their family. I'm like, well, why can't they take their kid with them? I don't think the US is like, no, you cannot take your child with you. No.
I don't think so either. But
I mean, let's be honest, I wouldn't want to take my kid to Mexico, but
well, I wouldn't either. I mean, I wouldn't either, but that's not the point.
But it's take your kid with you or don't take your kid with you. Either way, it's your choice. The government's not having a say in that.
Yeah, and I think you just take your kid with you. I think we should just send them all back. But we will see what happens with DACA. Like I said, they might vote on something, but they might not. I don't know what the hell Congress is going to do. They especially might not, because Trump was like, oh, by the way, in 6 months, I'll do something even if you guys don't do anything. So now he's taken all the pressure off Congress to actually do something about it.
Yep, and it sounds like he kind of wants DACA, but he just wants it there legally.
Yeah, he wants it to be a legitimate piece of legislation, which I don't have a problem with. Like I was saying,
I think he's put the Republicans in a really awkward position though, because their constituents, a lot of them just don't want DACA in, full stop.
Yeah. Yeah,
so he's put the Republicans in a fucking shitty situation.
Well, which is why they don't want to vote on it, because while like I said, DACA is, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. If you have like a selective DACA for the Republican base, it's like the worst thing ever. So, yeah, you're going to have a lot of Republicans who they can't do anything right in that situation because either they're pieces of shit or they're bad Republicans. And so, oops, I guess. Done fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shitty situation, and I don't think there's really going to be any sort of mutually pleasing result from this entire situation.
Yeah, I don't either. So that's where we are with DACA, but you know more about the evil baby lady, as I have it labeled, than I do. So
okay, so this is actually a really awful story. So in Adelaide, there was this woman, and I'm not doxing her. Her name is published in all the articles. It's Lorian Norman, and she should be named as publicly as possible. She bashed her toddler last year in October, so it's been almost a year. And then called the police and threatened to throw her toddler off the balcony of her unit. The police got there. The baby was bruised up like really badly. I'm just going to actually put a link to this in the chat because and if you're watching this in the future, there should be on the Bae Watch channel, there will be a link in the description below to the article. But the baby was bruised up, and she's like, oh, she just fell over at a playground yesterday. And no, it turns out she had beaten the baby at least hit the baby at least 8 times with like they believe a black plastic cooking spoon thing. And she received a 2-year good behavior bond and a $500 fine because the judge was like, the injuries weren't permanent.
Oh, so I can beat you up because you're...
Well, she was charged with aggravated assault, and I don't know about in the US, but I imagine it's the same sort of thing. The difference between assault and aggravated assault is aggravated means that there is long-term or lasting damage, either physically, psychologically, etc. Like it's a beating that bad that it is reasonable to assume that there will be long-term damage.
Well, and it's a baby.
Yeah, and it's really, really sad because the dad has custody of her and their other daughter. They've got another daughter as well. And he's fucking furious. But apparently little Evie, apparently little Evie, if you go near her face, she freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, I would say that's lasting damage.
Yeah. And like her little sister has a toy ball. If the ball goes near her face, even she freaks the fuck out.
Well, that's awful.
I know.
I mean, it would be awful anyway, but like that's even worse.
And she's just tiny, like she's still a toddler, like she's really little, and it's just tragic. And the quote unquote mother texted the father after she got let off bragging that she's like, so I'm not going to jail. What's your next move? I'm going to send you really cute family photos in October of me and the kids and my sister and my nephew. Even with everyone against me, I made it, and I'm going to be having custody within a year.
That is so messed up.
I'm sorry, but this judge needs to be arrested and put away as well. I'm sorry. This judge is gross.
Well, and she needs to be imprisoned. She needs to never have custody of another child ever again.
I really think that if she tries and push for custody, this dad will be able to crowdfund his legal fees like that.
Probably, yeah.
Because everyone's freaking disgusted that this woman got no jail time at all. She had she got a 2-year good behavior bond and a fine that is literally only $60 more than going through a red light.
That's insane. That is
Yeah.
insane.
She got a traffic fine.
Yeah, and this kid is like damaged for life.
Yeah.
So way to go. That's just fucked up. That's all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, someone's chat, what if the father did it? That's actually a point the dad made as well. He's like, if I had done this, I would be in jail, and I would not expect to not be in jail. Like, why is this woman getting off scot-free pretty much?
Yeah.
But that's gross.
Yeah, it's gross. It pisses me off. I guess we will move on to Equifax.
Yes.
Equifax basically is it's one of the major credit companies in the US, and basically about half of all Americans have had their identities compromised, like their social security numbers and all that kind of stuff, and some people from some other countries as well. And you can look up and to see whether or not you've been affected, but it's questionable as to whether or not they're actually lying about it. There was some upset over whether or not doing that would make it so that you can't sue them and all that kind of stuff.
They have put on their website, though, that the arbitration and class action clause does not apply to these checks.
Yeah.
Or something.
So you can still sue. So that's a huge mess but this happened back in July. And then it
had been happening since May, and they discovered it in July.
And when they discovered it, a lot of the execs of the company sold all of their stock.
Yep, over $1 million worth of stock.
Right, which of course is a form of insider trading.
Yep, I was going to say they're going to be getting charged.
Yeah. So.
And then they'll get to go to a nice white collar prison, but at least they'll get charged. I guess.
So that whole thing is a mess because, of course, once this came out, their stock plummeted into the ground.
Of course it did.
Of course it did. So it's a mess. I don't really know what to say. I don't know if checking it's a good idea. Have I checked? No, because in order to check, you have to put your social security number onto their website, and I'm not doing that. Why would I do that?
True. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm like, I wonder if I could just invent a last name and the last 6 digits of the social security number, so I can check because I went on there. This is when I went to check and see if you could still sue or whatever, because I wanted to read the terms and conditions. And thank you, Stephen. Just have to show you some love to you 2 beautiful ladies. You are amazing. Thank you.
Sweet boy, Stephen.
I've lost what I was saying. Oh yeah, I just entered like my generic last name. I think I put in Smith and then just like 6 random numbers, and then the fact came up after saying that you can still sue. So
yeah. So it's a mess. I don't know what else to say other than I'm like, it happened, and watch your shit really closely. But usually if there's like some suspicious charges, they'll call you anyway.
Yeah.
I know, like, one time I ordered a really expensive cube off my personal debit card, and they called me and they were like, why are you ordering stuff from Hong Kong? What the fuck happened? And I'm like, no, it's fine. So
it was really weird. I found charges on my credit card a few years ago, right? And it was for a European car parts in Great Britain. And it took me, like, I was on the phone for about 3 hours with the fraud department trying to be like, can you please investigate this? And they're like, are you sure you didn't purchase it? I'm like, I don't live in Britain. I don't drive. I didn't even have a license at this stage. I'm like, I don't drive. Why would I be buying European car parts in Great Britain?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I ordered something because like HK Now store is one of those stores that and it was like it was an expensive one, and it was like money going to Hong Kong. So they were like, the fuck is this noise? And I was like, it's fine.
I bought a cube.
So, I'm like, I'm just a nerd. There's no need to shame me. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. So yeah, be careful, watch stuff, I guess. And yeah. So
yeah.
I guess our next thing is Eduardo Martin. And what?
Sorry. I just looked at our show notes and I missed where you wrote there's a fucking hurricane in the show notes.
You know my notes are always interesting.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, go to Eduardo.
I'm sorry. I thought you would have seen that by now.
No.
Yeah, there's a fucking hurricane, by the way. So Eduardo Martin is basically a war photographer, or like a disaster photographer, kind of both. He supposedly was going around, you know, getting pictures from like Iraq, Syria, all that kind of stuff. And he was published in like the BBC, the Washington Post, all these like super legit agencies. But it was somebody at the BBC Brazil who was like, who the fuck is this guy? And started looking into it. And apparently he's just been stealing other people's work and flipping the images and like changing the color just a little bit. And nobody even knows who he actually is.
Oh, wow.
But he has this entire like war photography career. And nobody knows who he is.
Reading the article, like he invented like this really like poster child for overcoming adversity background.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He claims that he'd been abused as a child and he beat leukemia, and so he turned his life around from a life in poverty in Brazil and became a UN photographer.
Turns out that's all a bunch of horse shit. And basically what happened was that some people were like, you know, we've never met this guy and maybe it would make sense if we had met him. And it just turns out that it was all a bunch of BS. So
yeah. I'm sorry, I was just looking through the article. One of the photographers who had his photos stolen. Oh, hello. He's very pretty. He has chest tattoos. What can I say?
Oh, wait, hold on. Like, let me. Now I'm like, okay, now I have to look. Now I'm curious because I didn't look at this. I read it and then I didn't look at it very hard.
It's the guy with the surfboard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yes he is. I will give you that. Yeah, he's pretty.
Sorry.
So that's, I don't know, I thought that was interesting, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Wait, where is yeah, so ultimately, even if you are good at inverting photos, you will be busted.
I can't believe he went that long without being busted, though.
I know. That's a bit bizarre. Hey.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the MAGA swastika thing? That was...
Yes. Okay, so... it was it a high school? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And this was in your state, which makes me sad. But the school district people have apologized, so they're on the sides of the students, so yay. But 2 kids were wearing MAGA shirts, and a teacher went apeshit and more or less told the students that their shirts with campaign slogans weren't permitted in class. And what if they were SWAT stickers? Would you expect her to allow SWAT stickers in her classrooms? No. Well, MAGA's not allowed there either.
Which had everybody like, bitch, what?
Yeah. And Trump is literally Hitler, is what this boils down to.
Right. And basically everybody was like, nope. And even the school board was like, nope. So
I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that they sided with the students and not the teacher.
Yeah, I am too. But that was kind of a quick story. Then we've got Michael Bennett, who is a Seattle Seahawks something or the other. He's on a football team. He does the sports. And there was this, he was, what? That's what he does. He does the sports. There was this incident in Las Vegas where they thought that they had an active. And he ended up being detained for about 10 minutes and all that kind of stuff. And he, of course, went on a tirade on social media about how he was targeted because he was black and all that kind of stuff.
Yep, the cops did a racist.
Right. And what we're going to link in the description is Matthew Christensen's video, because his video is the most in-depth analysis that I've seen.
Yeah.
That's why we're using that.
Plus he's pretty.
But given the... What?
I said plus he's pretty.
That too. But... But when you look at everything, for one thing, he says that Michael Bennett says that he was detained for a really long time. He was detained for like 10 minutes, and the body cam
he said it was because he was a black.
It is kind of also points out that there are a lot of other black people there that are just walking around, and it's not a problem.
Yeah, and I think what the police have said was the reason that they decided to go after him is quite plausible. I can understand if it happened exactly as the police said that it happened. I can understand why he would have done that, because apparently he was hiding, and then he got up and ran after the police were in ice range over him. Now, the police don't say that he saw the police. They just saw a guy crouching, hiding, and then getting up and bolting.
Which is why they were like, "Oh, that's weird."
Yeah.
And I can see why they were like, "Oh, that's odd."
Yeah, but I can also, especially if he didn't see the police, I can see why he would be like waiting for a moment where he felt like he was safe enough to bolt. If he thought there was an active shooter, and then bolting.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Honestly think, I just think it was a massive misunderstanding that he decided to try and turn into some sort of drama.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they determined that there wasn't even an active shooter, and they let him go within 10 minutes. So it's not as though at the end of the day anything really happened.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything to convince me that the police did a bad in this situation.
Yeah.
There was one thing, I don't think Matt did mention this in his video though. Apparently the cop that actually arrested him, his body cam wasn't on.
Oh yeah, he does mention that in the video.
Oh, okay. Yep. But they've got like over 100 hours of available footage to go through, but based on various body cams and security cameras and stuff. So they are investigating. So
yeah, so we'll see. We'll probably update you guys next week if anything interesting actually happens.
Yeah.
But right now it doesn't look like it. It just looks like they saw a guy running away from the scene of possibly an active shooter, and they were like, oh, somebody's bolting and not acting like everybody else in the crowd. That's weird.
Yeah.
And that's what
Maybe we
happened.
should chase.
Yeah. So our dumbass of the week is Walmart and the people in Walmart, because apparently there was this girl who wanted a notebook, but some other bitches wanted the notebook too. So they attacked this girl, and then the girl's mom was like, "Nuh-uh, not my daughter, you bitch," and like pulled a gun. Nobody was shot.
How is it? Was the notebook made from solid fucking gold?
I don't know, and really, I guess what charges will be filed totally depends on who started what. Because if there were
actually, I need to clarify something. Is it a notebook as in like a notebook?
Yes.
Or a notebook as in a laptop?
No. As in.
So it is. It's a paper notebook, right?
Yeah.
And a gun, a fight escalated to the point of a gun.
Well, so it was a girl. I don't remember. I don't know exactly how old she is. Let me verify how old she is. It was a young-ish girl, and then two full-grown women attacked her.
Why?
Okay, so it was a 20-year-old woman, and then two grown-ass women attacked her over a notebook. And then her mother pulled a gun because her daughter was being tackled by two unfortunate-looking grown women.
I'm sorry, but guess what?
My kid, I mean, because she couldn't separate them from her kid. And
so she pulled a gun.
Like, I'm not going to say I would do that, but I could be tempted for sure.
They're arguing over who's the rightful owner of or purchaser of the notebook. It's whoever picks it up first.
Yeah, well,
that's how these things work. Whoever takes it off the shelf gets to buy
it. Yeah, well, whatever, I guess.
I can't believe fight over a fucking notebook
that ended in somebody pulling a gun. I know. It's a lot. It's very extra, as the gays would say.
It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I think it's funny. But it'll be interesting to see like what charges actually get filed, because you're thinking like assault with a deadly weapon, but I'm like, but two people were literally tackling her daughter over a notebook.
Yeah, that's self-defense, because self-defense includes defense of others. Fuck. What state was this in?
I think
Michigan.
Oh. I was going to say probably Florida.
You'd think. You'd think it was Florida.
Florida woman, like, yeah, I don't know.
How's Michigan with their gun stuff there? Are they like pro-gun? Or I don't know if they're a red or a blue state. I don't know. I'm Australian.
I think they're a blue state. I think they might have gone red in the last election, but I don't remember. Michigan's kind of deserted, though, because Detroit's basically a ghost town.
Oh, it's where Detroit is. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
Okay, so on to the good news stories.
Yes.
So airlines were super cool about the whole everybody has to get the fuck out of Florida thing, and they all decided to lower their prices, which was nice of them. Good for them. Airlines did one thing right. One thing.
There's still going to be people that are like, well, they should have been doing it for free. Bitch, do you know how expensive it is to fuel a fucking jet?
Yeah, I mean, like, they have to, somebody has to pay for something. But that was considerate of them to lower prices so that people could get the heck out of Florida. So, yeah. So that happened.
Yay.
And then also a guy installed a mailbox for this blind lady so that she wouldn't have to walk up to the street anymore, which was sweet.
Oh, that's cute.
Nice. Right? That's cute.
Sorry, I'm just happy. Oh, that's really sweet. That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah, that was cute. Hi, Pat. And then the one that you sent me, which was also freaking adorable.
Yeah, surfing grannies. In there's a Western Australian town called Albany, and he like grommets is generally like a kids, group thing, but they created granny grommets about 17 years ago, and they teach all the old ladies how to surf, and it is amazing.
How cute is that? It's super cute. Yeah, if you
They're
want
in
to
their
see,
little wetsuits and everything.
yeah, it's really cute. If you want to see that, like we said, when it's up on the Bae Watch channel, all that will be there. So I guess our topic, and this is, I needed something to laugh about because I'm having a week.
It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough week. And so I was looking for some of the worst books I could find. And I found,
and boy did you find it.
Boy did I struck gold. Okay. It's called Drontos. And I'm sure it would be bad listening to it or reading it, but listening to it
is amazing.
It's even more amazing because the narrator is super into everything that she does. I don't remember what her fucking name is.
I don't know. I don't think they say it. I don't think they say it in
No. They
oh,
do.
They do.
Hold on. I'm pulling up the Audible app so I can see.
Excellent.
It's narrated by Savannah Richards. Well, Savannah Richards
is amazing.
She's amazing for all the wrong reasons, and this book is amazing for all the wrong reasons. But it's my new favorite book because I haven't had this much fun listening to something in quite some time. So
she gets so into everything she reads. She's so into
so
it.
Dramatic. It's literally just like she took a step to her left, and you're like, why'd you say it like that? Like, she picked up a pencil. Okay. Like, what next? And that's the thing, is like nothing all that dramatic actually happens in these books anyway. Like, there's no super dramatic fight scene or anything like that. I mean, there are a couple,
I will say,
but
it kind of, the dramatics kind of fit at the very beginning when it's like, oh, plane's going down. Fuck.
Yeah, it starts off with a plane crash.
That takes 10 minutes of reading time to occur.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, when I was first listening to it, I was like, why are they still in a plane crash? Like, what? Come on, like,
then I was getting confused as well, because it turns out these two guys weren't trying to rape the MC and her sister. They were lying on top of them to protect them from the plane crash. But the first 4 minutes of the book is the pilot and the co-pilot going, fuck, we're crashing. Fuck, I know. Fuck, we're crashing. Fuck, I know. That's the first 4 minutes.
No,
and then it literally cuts to, we're getting raped. We're going to get raped. We're going to get raped.
But the other thing about that is that all of the conversations, they should take 2 lines of dialogue and they just go on and on and on. Like, they keep... like, you don't have to say everything that's said. So it'll be like, we should get dinner. Oh, what do you want for dinner? Oh, I don't know. You suck. And then he's like, yeah, well, I'm going to beat you. And she's like, well, that's not nice. And he's like, do you want a rabbit? And she's like, I guess. And he's like, okay, cool. And she's like, okay, cool. And he's like, I'm going to go now. And she's like, all right, bye. And I'm like, why did we just have a 6-minute conversation? This could have just been like, I'm going to go get rabbit. All right, bye. Like, this audiobook is 12 hours because of stupid shit like that. In the pilot, like, it's the first 4 fucking minutes. They talk in circles. The dialogue is circles because they're just like, we're going to crash. And he's like, oh, shit.
I'm also really confused as well, because how do you get, okay, plane is crashing, plane is going down. One, why the fuck would a guy rape you when a plane is about to crash? And 2, how do you get a guy just lying on? Why was he grabbing her ass? How does that help her? Because apparently she played. No, I mean, I get why she was confused. I just don't know what his motivations were. It's like, well, if I'm going to protect her, I might as well cop a feel.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but it's so funny. And like Insta romance doesn't even begin to describe it. Like how quickly all this happens. You need to listen to the rest of it because it is.
Yeah, because I'm only about
it's
half an hour in.
You need to listen to the rest of it because it's insane. It is so insane. And like there's not really any plot, but that's because it's a shitty romance novel and it's so funny. Like there are so many times that I was reading it and or listening to it and like I just lost my shit. I was laughing so hard because I love this so bad.
What else does she read?
What?
What's her name again? Savannah what?
Savannah Richards. I mean, it's literally just like, she grabbed a glass of water. You're like, no, tell me more.
Seriously, you will never be so excited about mundane tasks. Hi,
Peter. Hi, Peter. And, oh my God. The dialogue in this, like, not only does it go around in circles, but it is so bad. And the way that because it's a romance novel, there are a million sex scenes, and there are a million terrible sex scenes, and it is some of the funniest shit I've ever read in my entire life. But the build-up to them makes no sense whatsoever. Like, they're just talking about, like, how do we get out of the woods? And then all of a sudden, somebody's got a boner, and you're like, why does he have a... No.
I have another book I found another book that I want to read from by the narrator.
Okay.
The Girl's Guide to Depravity: How to Get Laid Without Getting Screwed. I just want to see how enthusiastic she is with that.
The narration it's so bad. The book is bad. It's like, but it's the best thing I've ever. It's my favorite book. I love this book for all the wrong
very
reasons.
into it so far. It is, yeah, it's one of those things that it's horseshoe theory, right? Like it's awesome, and then it goes around to bad, and then the worse it gets, the better it gets again.
Oh yeah, and it's amazing.
It is peak awful, which means it is peak amazing.
It's so bad. And honestly, we should do more stuff like this. Like, screw trying to find good stuff to read. We should just read like the worst shit we can find. And this is it. And it is.
It's a series as well. It's a series. There's like at least
on the second one. Honestly, it's not as funny the second time around.
Oh.
But it's still pretty funny. Like, so we'll find another one that's even better, and we'll do an actual book club on it. But this was
awesome.
It was a trip. It was awesome. I love it. I love this book. And it's really funny too, because I was on Goodreads looking at the reviews, and the reviews are like, some of them are like 5 stars, and I don't understand why, but they're like, this was amazing. And then like some are like, what the fuck was this shit? And then some other ones are like, this is amazing. And then some are like, what the fuck is this shit? And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? But also,
this is amazing. The ones that were like, this is amazing, like earnest or the same as us?
No, they meant it.
Oh dear. Oh dear Lord.
Oh no, like they were for realsy pants about it. And I think it's funny as fuck. Hold on, I'm on Goodreads. I'm gonna.
Excellent. Goodreads, I think, is my favorite. It's my favorite.
I'm gonna find like a good one. I love this book, and I can't wait for the rest of the series. She's done a great job. Oh my god, have you gotten to the part where like they tell you what the name of all the species are?
No.
Because I'm bad at naming
No.
things.
What are they? What are they? Tell me.
They're called. Oh my god. So it's a vampire and a werewolf combo. It's a hybrid. They're called vamp-lycans. And then they like also have gargoyles and they call them gar-lycans.
Excuse you.
Like you couldn't really vamp-lycan? That is like the
You know what? If you're gonna combine the names for the gargoyle ones, I would have called it a lycangoyle.
Or a garwolf.
Garwolf, yep.
Yeah.
But I would have had the like beginning.
You don't just like ship name something and call it a day. Like some dumb Maracan is still like my favorite thing. I love that. I think that is so
I think that was from T.
That guy T. Yeah, that guy T made it up for us, and I love it. It's my favorite. Some dumb Maracan is adorable, but vamp-lycan.
Vamp-lycan.
Like you couldn't. What the fuck? And it sounds even dumber in like a fake guy voice, and like a fake dramatic guy voice where he's like, Dusty, you are a vamp-lycan. And she's like, you're like off your meds. It's such.
Is that why she's anemic?
Yeah, because she needs to drink blood.
What's her sister? Is her sister anything?
Her sisters also have vamp-lycan.
How is one of them half and one of them not?
No, they're both half vamp-lycan.
Oh. Why does the sister not need blood then?
Yeah, because like the lichen traits are more whatever. I guess it's like if you have two mixed babies and like one's a little blacker than the other.
It's like those twin girls where one of them's a redhead, like pale.
Yeah, and the other one's black. And they're mixed. Yeah. No, it's actually kind of cool though that can happen. But either way, it was just the whole thing had me like laughing my ass off. And when I like the first time I heard vamp-lycan, I was like, what? Why did you call them that? Like, because in the Vampire Diaries, you just called hybrids.
She also named the MC Dusty.
What?
Yeah.
And Dusty, her sister's name is Bat.
I know that that's short for Bettina, which I know is a name, so I can kind of forgive that. It's a gross name, but it's a name. Huh?
Dusty's name is Dustina.
Bettina and Dustina.
Yeah.
I quit this book. I quit it.
No, you have to read that. You have to. You can read it on 2x. I don't care, but I just want you to message me like every time.
Dustina and Bettina.
I can't wait for you to be like, Bae, what the fuck is this shit? And I'm like, I know, right? It's so bad. I can't recommend this book enough. Oh god, it's so funny. And like I said, a lot of the Insta romance doesn't even begin to describe it. She goes from being like, I'm scared of you and you're crazy to like, let's get married. And I'm just like,
how did this happen? How did we get to this point?
I'm like, this whole thing takes place over a fucking week. Over a week. And like they're married by the end of the book. And I'm just
Are they actually married?
No, but they're like mated forever. So like extra married.
You can't get unmated.
And they're hold on, and they're also like the way that they phrase it is they're true mates, and I'm just like, gross. It's so bad. It is so bad. Like, it's like Monkey and Lady Monkey on super steroids. It is so gross.
No.
It's
Monkey says no night to Lady Monkey. Is it worse than that? Bad. Is it worse than Night?
Oh,
I mean, like, it's
like,
kind of cute, but they've at least known each other for decades, like, not a week.
It makes Night look cold in comparison.
I'm scared now.
It is so bad. It's incredible. I absolutely fucking love it. It put me in such a good mood because listening to it, I was like, they're not gonna just like start. Like she goes from "you're insane" to "let me drink your blood" in like a conversation.
What I'm gonna do?
It's fabulous. It's
for
incredible.
the chat, what I'm going to do is I am going to post a link to this audiobook and just listen to the first few minutes. Listen to these fucking pilots being like, "We're going down, Mayday! I know we're going down, Mayday! Help! Help!" 4 minutes of that, and it is amazing.
Yeah, like the conversations with dialogue, it's too much dialogue. Like there's too much talking happening in this book because I wonder if I have too much dialogue, but like I don't, I swear. So much fucking dialogue. And the way that she describes doing the butterscotch dance is
oh god, how?
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Okay,
amazing.
How into it does the narrator get?
You know what? It's not as bad as Tavia Gilbert from.
Is that the thingy chick? Yeah.
The Once Burned Vlad thingy.
Yeah.
Not as into it as she does, but close. But close.
Oh god.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's incredible.
Do I need to prepare myself for any specific cringe in the butterscotch dance scenes? Because in Once Burned, it was loins.
She calls it her.
Her what?
She calls it her sex.
Oh, she does that in 50 Shades as well. Her sex and her modesty.
Which is like
weird. And her wetness.
Because usually when they do that though, they don't use anything like crude. As if that's not, you know what I mean though? Like they usually don't go crude. She uses cock and the other smush cookie word that I don't like saying out loud. The P word. She uses that. But for whatever reason, sometimes we sugarcoat it. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really bad. It's amazing. It's just all the right things in this book go wrong.
I'm excited. I'm excited to keep going.
No, you should read the whole thing. I'm not really gonna like read the sequel or anything like that. It's just like that the first one is.
What does VLG stand for?
Viking.
It's the VLG series.
Vampire, Lycan, Gargoyle.
Gargoyle. Ugh. And the names of the books are people's names?
Yeah, so Drontos is the main guy, and then Craven, his brother. Also, Craven and Bat end up together because, of course, they do.
Oh, of course they do.
So that's like what the second book is. It's a series, but not really.
Yeah.
It just tells like all the stories of all these different people getting together. And also, a lot of the characters are fucking bipolar in this. Because, like, one character at first is like, I fucking hate you, go die in a hole. And then the next time she sees her, she's like, hey, what's up? And you're like...
Bipolar or female? Let's
both.
Be
both. No, she, like, goes from hating her and, like, wanting her to leave to being like, let's be BFFs. And I'm like...
How? How does this happen?
Yeah, no, and everything happens so fast. It is like all the right things go wrong to make this book perfect.
I'm really excited.
It's so bad. I love it. I love this book so much. Peter just listened to some of it. She does get really into it, doesn't she? Oh my god, she does. Like the most the most mundane things too. Like Dusty shook her head. Like, oh my, all right. Okay.
Justina.
And I know.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna get past Justina. That is the stupidest fucking name I've ever heard.
It's a vamp-like name, okay? It's a vamp-like name. I love the look on your face right now. It's making me so, like, no. This is what you get. This is payback for the Covenant series. Because every new book of the Covenant series, you were like, you're going to hate this. And I was like, great. Welcome to my world. Except better. Because at least
You know what though? Joke's on you, because after Titan, we're doing Lux, motherfucker. More Justine Eyre, more Jennifer L. Armentrout. You are never escaping. We're doing the Alien series next. The green glowy Alien series.
Sorry. Oh my god. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so good though.
You know what though? Unlike you as well. I love this book. I just hate the name.
Wait, what? Like Drontos or Justina? I mean, because it's
Justina.
all bad. Drontos is bad too, though.
All the names and terms are bad. We can accept that. But
that just adds to the cringe.
Yeah, it's right? So wrong.
It's like all the right things in this book go horribly, horribly wrong. And it's incredible. It is the bomb.com, not gonna lie. I love this book.
I'm probably gonna listen to it as soon as we get off air.
No, you totally should. You totally should, because I can't wait to get all the messages from you that are just like, Bae, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, I know, right? And then you're like, Bae, what? And I'm like,
why?
You're like, why? And I'm like, I know. And you're like, this is way too much. And I'm like, I know. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be great. Yeah, welcome to like a mini book club with Bae within Bae Watch. It was just like, because we're not going to do a full Bae Watch on the, or a full book club on this, which is why I just wanted to touch on it here.
And I think it makes, it's about time that we end an episode like happily.
Yeah, right. So anyway.
Oh, well, speaking of ending, it is about that time. So please like, share, subscribe to my channel, Bae's channel, Bae Watch's channel, all the channels. Go sub to all of them. Check out our Teespring store. Link is in the description. And we will see you next week on SDA's channel. Yep. Okay. Bye, everyone.